time, everybody, and welcome to the Jersey Shore Podcast. Today, we've got a packed show from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore Podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Jersey Shore Podcast starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Jersey Shore Podcast. That's S-U-R-E because we are always sure. We have a couple good guests that are coming on tonight. And sorry I missed the last episode. I had my man Seth fill in for me in Angles. And thank you guys for doing that for me. I've been out campaigning, getting signatures for running for Congress. Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment, running for office again. So that's what it's about. But I just want to talk about a quick monologue and go through it. You know, if you step back and look at the world right now, it feels like we're living through one of those moments where global events are shifting fast, and they are. And tensions in the Middle East are rising again, which we're all used to throughout my lifetime anyway. Iran is threatening shipping lanes. Missiles are flying around the region, and the United States is responding alongside its allies. Now, let's be honest about something. When things heat up in that part of the world, Americans feel it. Usually at the gas pumps and the price of everyday goods, because gas, oil pays for everything. But working class families, they're already stretched thin, and I feel it because I feel it myself. I feel it for everyone else. And when global instability hits energy markets, it's slow. It shows up in our wallets, pretty quick. And I trust me, I feel it. But there's another side of that conversation. Sometimes doing the right thing for long term requires temporary sacrifice for the short term. And I believe that's what we're doing. I believe it will be over quick, and it's going to help us in the long run. So if the United States allows hostile regimes to control global shipping lanes or threaten the stability of the region, the long-term cost to Americans will be far worse than the temporary hit that we're taking right now. So yes, Americans may feel a temporary pain right now, but strong leadership and stability in the long run is what ultimately protects our economy, our security, and our future. So at the same time, here at home, the political temperature is rising as well. Activist groups are organizing protests across the country again over immigration enforcement, and once again, we're seeing how divided America has become. So, and while the country debates borders and global conflicts, right here in South Jersey, the same political machine that has dominated this region for decades keeps doing what it always does, protecting itself and maintaining power. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I have two great guests on, and we're going to introduce them right now. So I didn't have a breaking news. Breaking news is basically what's going on now. So that's what it is. So let's go into our first Hammer segment, and I'll introduce the guests. All right, here we go. We have Frank. See, he actually, this kid is 15 years old. 15 years old. And he's working on my campaign, and he's a beast. He's a monster. And so is his friend Angles as well, that's been helping me out on the campaign. But Frank, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, Damon.
Then our next guest, we have Joe Miller. What's up, Joe? How you doing?
How's it going, Damon? Thank you for having me.
So I see everything's working for you. You had some technical difficulties earlier, but everything looks good and clear on my side. So
yeah, other than my charger just falling and making that loud noise, but all good. Yep.
But guys, thanks for coming on. So we want to just go over this. I mean, this whole episode is about the divided states of America, divided, and that's what it is. We are such a divided country right now, thrown through. I mean, I've never seen it before in my lifetime. And it seems like when Trump got in, that's what it was. And people, you just hated Trump. It doesn't matter what he does. He could cure cancer, and they would still hate it and throw it out the window. And that's, I've never seen politics become so cultural now. So Joe, if you want to talk about, introduce yourself where people can find you, because I know you're doing something else. But let's get this, started now while I'm having you on, and then we'll, in the end, after this, we're going to reiterate what you're running for.
Definitely. So my name's Joe Miller, as Damon said. I am currently the treasurer for the Young Republican organization for the New Jersey executive board for the statewide. And we have our reorganization coming up in April. And right now there is going to be a debate and everything. It is contested, actually. And the incumbents are being challenged. And it just really, Damon, it's kind of going with what you said with division of South Jersey and everything, because this is just division throughout the state, in the fact that the team running against us is a team that really isn't aligned with the NJGOP in a way or anything, and really isn't aligned with Republican values. And we're there to battle them, basically, to make sure that Republicans and grassroots Republicans are still in charge and still in power of the Young Republicans. So really, that's what I'm running for in April, just to get that out of the way and everything. But right now, I'm still the treasurer currently, and I actually am with the Board of Elections at Atlantic County. I'm the supervising clerk there, and basically just same thing, just making sure elections are secured there and everything, and making sure that Republicans, just real Republicans, grassroots Republicans' voices are heard.
Awesome. And Frank, tell people about yourself.
All right. Well, my name's Frank. I've been on Damon's podcast before. I'm currently working on Justin Murphy's campaign for U.S. Senate and Damon's campaign for U.S. Congress. Them two are great candidates, I will say, and I will tell you to go vote for them.
So thank you, Frank. I appreciate it very much. So before we get into this first Hammer segment, and Joe, I don't know if you know what the Hammer segment is. It's everyone out there that's listening right now. The Hammer is a long-standing joke between myself and Seth. He calls me the Hammer for some reason, and it stuck. So I call him the Pirate, and then he calls me the Hammer. So that's what it is. That's why it's called that.
You hit the nail on the head every time, David.
Yeah, I guess
what it is.
I'm a carpenter, and then he says I'm Italian, so I'm like a mob guy who comes at you with a hammer. He always makes jokes. He's awesome. I love Seth.
It's tough.
He's great. but I want to play the first video here, and we'll talk about it. So let's play the first clip.
Good evening. We begin with the attacks today in two separate parts of the U.S. that have investigators searching for possible connections to the Middle East. First, at around 10:40 this morning, a former soldier in the Army Reserve opened fire on the campus of Old Dominion University, apparently targeting a class there for ROTC cadets. One person dead, two injured, and CBS News has learned that the suspected shooter had ties to terrorism, a prior conviction, in fact, for providing material support to ISIS. And then early this afternoon, news of another attack, this one in a suburb of Detroit, where a man armed with a rifle plowed a truck packed with explosives into a Jewish synagogue and school, and then got out of the smoking vehicle only to be stopped by the synagogue's on-site security. While both attacks are still being investigated tonight, they present a potential pattern. What could be the second ISIS-inspired plot in the U.S. and the fourth synagogue shooting?
So, Frank, I'll go to you first with this one. I mean, if you look at it, now, a lot of people are saying, yeah, we're attacking Iran, and it's going to cause sleeper cells to open up. I don't know if it's sleeper cell or not. I just think we're just so divided at this point, and there's a lot of crazy people out there that are doing these type of things. So do you think it's because of the attack on Iran that this is happening?
Yeah, partially, but attacking a synagogue is an anti-Semitic attack. So I believe it could have been an attack charged towards the Jewish people. And I do think there are Iranian sleeper cells that were let in under the Biden administration. And I believe these people are starting to wake up because if they have connections to ISIS, what says that ISIS isn't telling them to start attacking America, since Iran cannot touch American homeland, but they can through sleeper cells.
But Joe, I'll ask you the same thing. We look at the one attack, the guy that driving a truck in the synagogue. He was actually a veteran, American born, and where are they getting this from? And how are we so divided to where we could just do something like this? And I'm going to tell you right now, I hear a lot of things from people on, that I'm friends with, that they think the Jews own everything and and they control everything. I don't believe it is. I think it's just propaganda. I think they're winning the propaganda war. But one thing that they don't do is they don't drive bombs into buildings. That's all I can say. Now, not all Muslims are bad. I mean, it's a very good faith. I mean, it is. But when you're radical anything,
it's always bad. Radical anything always leads to disaster.
Yeah, they seem more prominent. They're more willing to kill a bunch of people at the same time. I've never seen anyone else do it other than back in the day Japanese kamikazes. But it's like if your religion tells you if you go and blow up a bunch of people, innocent women and children, that you're going to go to heaven with 40 virgins, wherever it is.
The virgin's waiting for you in heaven if you do that. But I think here what's causing that sort of, not as extreme of level as what we're talking about, but with here, like with crashing into synagogues and everything and like attacking synagogues, it really goes with what the media is portraying, and I think they're
Yep. What's up? Joe dropped off. We lost him. So so again, he's been having technical difficulty. So, but no, my point is, I don't want to disagree with anybody. Well, I would like to. I'm sorry. I'd like to disagree with people with the way it is, but I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anyone's religion. I don't hate anyone's culture. But when somebody else comes at you and they really want to cause you harm just because you're different, that's a problem for me. And you see it's more prevalent with radical Muslims. Now, sure, there's radical Jews. I mean, just the radical left. I can't stand the radical left. I can't stand the radical right either. It's a problem.
Sorry about that.
Oh, he's back. Joe's back.
Sorry about that.
Finish your statement.
So I was saying it was the media portraying it. It's the media portraying it as basically saying that, I don't know, since the whole Palestine issue and everything, they're really taking the side of that Israel and helping the Israel, and basically they're taking advantage of us. They're pushing that image on the people. And I feel like that's really what's causing people to be that's causing them to be anti-Semitic. It's not even religion based. It's more that they're more upset that we're funding more of them than back home. I don't think it's even based on religion or anything. It's just based on national.
Sure.
Like on national politics.
So what are your thoughts, Frank?
Well, my thoughts on what's happening. This could be I know in the Quran, it does say to kill the infidels. That's what I believe it says. And I think these attacks are targeted towards the Jewish people and Americans. And it is a threat, and this threat should be dealt with.
Yeah, I want to play another clip right now. We're going to roll this, and we'll talk about this one as well. So let's roll the next clip. Oh, this is the picture. Okay, yeah. So this is basically the two Pennsylvania. This is CNN, by the way. I want to let you guys know. CNN, that was a soft spot for everybody, apparently now. But this is about the attack in New York City. The two teenagers tried to throw those IED bombs, and Seth brought it up on Monday's podcast as well with Angles when he covered for me. But they say two Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day, enjoying the city during an abnormally warm weather. That's what the Post read. It said, but in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change as the pair would be arrested for throwing homemade bombs during an anti-Muslim protest outside Mayor Zohar Madani's home. And then here's what we know so far. And then they talk about what it is. But the way they started, it sounded like a
story.
Yeah, like a kid's book.
They're really trying to set the tone for you there. They're really trying to hook you into the read.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're reading a children's book, like on a warm summer day or whatever. But it's like, What are they talking? They retracted it after they got some backlash for it, because it's like, no, two people went there with intentions to kill people. And now, well, mind you, the protest was with Jake Lang, and Jake Lang is a scumbag, by the way. I'm in my opinion, he is. I think he's a white supremacist guy. I covered him before on the podcast. Now, whatever, he was there protesting with people, so I'm not saying throw a bomb at him, but it just, he has his own opinion. I'm not fond of him. But when you have two young kids that get radicalized and they want to go and throw bombs at people that are just protesting, I mean, that's a problem. Like, we need to stop this.
And it's happening too often. It's a problem that's happening. It's occurring way too often in a nation that we have to be working along the aisles. We have to be reaching across the aisle and to get anything done here.
Yeah, and that's what we are, so broken with that. We are. But so, hey guys, listen, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go to the next Hammer segment.
Sounds good.
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun, and it's informative, and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media, just telling the story of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
Well, I have to thank Andrew for that one. So give me that clip. He gave me like a 32-minute interview, which I was surprised he was on that long. He's a great guy. Love Andrew. He's
That's
great.
awesome.
Yeah. So this one is about the No Kings protest they're going to have again. So I labeled it a No Kings, No Brains protest, because these people are morons. They really are. They want to say he's a king, but they're allowed to protest against them. So if a king was protested against, he would wipe them out. Look what happened in Iran. When they protested, they wiped out, 35,000 people? Which is horrible.
They chant "No Kings," which is ironic because they want the government to rule their life. So,
good point. You're right about that.
Want the government to rule their life, and they hate that we capture dictators. They hate that we capture kings. So make it make sense.
I know.
Make it make sense.
It's crazy. It really is. I just don't get people. It's common sense. They go against every grain that there is, and they actually look stupid when they say one thing and then they act another way. I don't understand how the brains work. So that's why I said no brains. So Frank, I'm going to play this first clip, and then we can talk about it. It's coming up.
We gotta grab the gun. We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get. We gotta grab the gun. We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get shot and wiped out.
So, Frank, I want to ask you, as someone young, 15 years old, to see what this guy saying the ICE agents need to be shot. If we can switch to, back to the full screen. I don't know if we're having any difficulties here. There we go. So, Frank, as a 15-year-old, hearing an adult like that saying these ICE agents need to be shot, calling them fascist, like, how do you think? Because you're the future. And Joe and we're old enough, and we're on our way out pretty much. But you're the future. What do you think about that?
Well, ICE has been around since 2003, I believe it was, and they never protested ICE before this. And when you have grown people chanting to kill our federal agents, that is not okay. That is a threat to the people who are working and protecting us. Because these people put their lives on the line every day, just as a police officer does. And that's inappropriate. And you shouldn't be out there doing that, because when you see people my age online see that, And I know I hear from people all the time that ICE is this terrible organization. Sure, they have their flaws, but I support ICE, and I don't think people should be out there chanting against them and screaming to kill people.
Yeah, and Joe, your thoughts on this? I mean, first it was defund the police. That didn't work for the Democrats at all. That backfired because, and then now it's defund ICE, abolish ICE, now kill ICE. These people are saying, where are we
Well,
at?
I feel it's funny. It's funny they say kill ICE and everything, because then they're saying ICE is killing innocent people. And then let's talk about these innocent people that you have. Alex Preddy, who had a gun. He had a gun that basically, I'm pretty sure, I forget the model. I don't know the model, but it's a gun that even the officers, it was one like very high. It was hard to operate. Like, it's one that's very hard to operate. It's very dangerous. And
Yeah.
he just had it in his back pocket and everything. If any person got involved with a gun in their back pocket in a police stop, say so your car's getting pulled over, someone comes over with a gun in their back pocket, says, I'm interfering, I don't get involved, they would get shot. They would probably wouldn't end too well for them. And that's exactly what happened in this case. And people are upset about this when they're not looking at the full picture of it. They're really just seeing, they're really thinking they're just capturing innocent people. And I just don't get why people think that at all.
Yeah, the media says it all the time. They're arresting U.S. born citizens and deporting them.
They're not.
They're not, and that's the thing. How do they get away with saying that? And people believe it because that's why I started this podcast, because I thought that media is more powerful than politicians at times, because who watches the TV all the time? Everyday people come home, they see what they say, and they're like, "Oh, this is what happened." And they're like, "Oh no," and you influence people that way. So that's
influencers are skyrocketing, and you're one of them. They're skyrocketing and getting the voice out there and getting. Look at everyone. Look at Jake Paul, just got endorsed by Donald Trump, and he's not even in politics yet. It's for any future political career.
Yeah.
Like, so.
But no, it's just important. So I'm just going to roll the next clip after this and just keep going on with these people. It's unbelievable. Listen what this woman says. No kings protest.
We need to get ourselves together, and we might even need to be a little bit meaner, because the Republicans don't mind being mean.
And by mean, what do you mean? Do you mean protesting? Do you mean
maybe we have to, I don't know, stop being so nice?
people on the other side are going to say that they feel like the Democrat Party has been mean recently with Charlie Kirk being assassinated?
He's a piece of garbage. Of course we were mean. I am so tired of people saying, oh, but, it's a terrible thing. No, Hitler is dead. I'm glad Hitler's dead. Evil people have no place in my world. He was a hateful human being.
Now, Frank, I'm going to go to you with this.
Okay.
One.
From what I heard was they brought up Charlie Kirk, and Charlie was a great guy. He let everybody have a voice. He let everyone speak, and he was open to talking to anyone who wanted to talk to him. And then this left-wing nut says Hitler's dead, and it's a good thing. I don't understand why she's comparing Charlie Kirk, a man who just wanted to go around and talk to people and share his opinion and bring people and tell people the truth, and comparing it to a murderer. That is terrible.
Yeah, it is. And Joe, I ask you, what is in the water that these people are drinking? Because you can disagree with Charlie Kirk. I mean, you can if you want, but like Frank just said, he will go around the college campuses and talk to people. He wanted to have a conversation. So I don't think Hitler had many conversations with people.
I don't think he was going around asking people their opinions. I don't think he was asking people to challenge them. I don't know, but I could be wrong. But
it's like, what's wrong with these people? Like, what?
But here's the thing: it's scary because I know you follow Scott Presler, I'm sure, and I have a couple friends who from school, because I'm at the University of Maine. A lot of them are very liberal up there, and they did the same thing that he was exposing, where they basically posted like, "Thank God he's dead," like stuff like that, like "Thank God this guy was killed." And I didn't see one person do it about Rob Reiner. He was the most liberal attacking guy there was. And his son, who again is just as liberal as he is, went and killed him. But none of us said, thank God Rob Reiner's dead. Thank God. Like, no, and it's just whatever's in their water, I don't want it. Because it's just no remorse for human life, and you can basically pick and choose what soul is more valuable. And that's not a game I want to be playing.
It's amazing. And Frank, I worry about you for your future coming up with these crazy. That was an older lady too, and the youth. That's why I love having you on and Angles on and working with the young Republicans. And Joe, that's part of it as well. That is the most important thing. We have to have the young people realize what is important and what is not. If you look at these videos and see like what that lady said, what the guy said beforehand, it's like, whoa, wait a second, that's not what we're about, and we need to raise people right. That's why I wore the t-shirt "Raised Right" last time you guys were on. But so how do you think we get through this? I mean, with Joe, I mean, I wanted to connect you with Joe as well because young Republicans, he's
100%. Yeah, 100%. If we just connect, I'll give you my number after, and we'll get connected. 100%. Get involved with us.
So what do you how do we make it happen? How do we make a better future? I know you're doing it. I'm not going to say it for you. I know you're working on campaigns, knocking doors, you're doing everything you can. But like deep down inside, what do you think?
What I think we need to do is we need to talk to the younger generation, which is my generation, and we need to tell them the truth, which is what Charlie Kirk was doing and what he tried to do. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to talk to the children, and we need to stop indoctrinating them in public schools because what the kids are being taught is terrible. They're encouraging them to go out to protest. The NJEA told students to wear blue on Friday to protest ICE. What does that have to do with learning to read, write, or do math? Yeah. Nothing. So the parents need to know what's being taught in the schools and see if they agree with it.
Yeah, they definitely do. So all right. So we got one more clip to play here in this segment, and we'll talk about it after we roll it. I mean, I don't really know what to say about that. Honestly, I don't know. It just they look like people that are on drugs. I'm sorry, I'll say it. They're retarded. I mean, I don't know. Like
that's the Democrat Party now.
Yeah,
that's the Democrat Party now. Like I don't even know, because with them, it's all facts go out the window. And I've tried even debating with people like that. It's just there's no point. There's no point in even talking to them or anything, because they're just going to hit you with any anti-Trump or you're racist or you're bigot or anything like that, and nothing factual. So it's just cluelessness. Like I think it's just static going on in their head. Like I think it's just like when the TV's fuzzy, that's all there is.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's how crazy they are. I mean, who does something like that? It's like, I look at it, I say to people all the time, I'm in construction, so I'm just not really, I don't have a filter that much. So it's just like, and I'll just say, when did they stop making men? Like, what's wrong with you? I'll say it on the job site to guys when they complain about something. But when you see something like that, it's like, I can't even comprehend it. Like, what happened to society? That's a collapse of society right there. Like there are people that just keep eating, and they're going to destroy the United States. Like if I was China and I saw that video, like we're going to invade right now.
That collapse. I'm shocked because that collapse happened in the 4 years of Biden. I'm surprised we didn't get invaded then. I'm surprised they didn't come after us then. Like,
I know.
But wait, we had the balloons. Though. So
they were starting to, and then they like, oh no, Trump got back in. Now
scratch it.
Yeah. So Frank, what do you think about that? I mean, you're in high school, so they were adults. I mean,
yeah.
Listen, I know people get picked on in high school for doing stupid stuff, and all that, and it's It's not cool. But when you're an adult and you're acting like that, I'm sorry. I want to pick on you. I mean, I don't like picking on anybody.
Yeah, the video, I'm speechless about that. That's just there's no smartness in that crowd at all, and they're jumping around like they just saw an ice cream truck. I had no comment on that video.
Okay, but yeah, when I saw it, I was like, "What is this?" And the Democrats, they're singing now all the time. And listen, I'm a horrible singer, so I'm not saying that I'm better than them at all in that aspect. But they're singing hymns and rallies, and
Did you see they're dressed up as frogs now, and they're in inflatable frog costumes running around.
Oh, at that camp in California.
Yeah, it's all over now. The frogs.
The frogs. That's a new thing. Furries and frogs.
Oh.
That's where we're at now.
Yeah, why can't we just be human beings that actually go to work every day, take care of, get married, have children?
Democrats.
That's too simple. That's too simple for them. That takes too much common sense for them.
I know. I just don't get it. Listen, that's what I want. I want to get married, have children. I did. Go to work every day, provide for my family, pay my taxes, go on a vacation.
The nuclear family, the white picket family. Like, that's what it's kind of part of the American dream. It's what, like, you kind of strive to have.
White picket fence and all that stuff. I mean, that's like normal. I don't know where we lost it. Well, I will go back, and I say this every podcast almost now. January 10th, 1963, the Communist Manifesto on how to destroy America from within. And I truly believe, and all listeners out there, you can, and by the way, I forgot to say earlier, go in the chat and you can ask a question or post something and we'll see it. But I say it all the time, and look it up. If you read that manifesto Congress put out in 1963, it was how to destroy the United States from within. Because the United States is surrounded by vast oceans. We're very powerful. You can't get us from the outside, at least not now, anyway, for now. But that was their move to divide us from within. If you read everything in there, you look at every line on them, you're like, whoa, all this is happening right now. Promote pornography, transgenderism, gay and lesbian, tear down statues and have I forget.
Rewrite history.
Yeah. It was. I mean, every line item in there. When I read it, and I didn't know about it until Ben Carson mentioned it a couple of years ago, and he said, "I'll bring it back in January 10th, 1963." And I'm like, "Oh, what happened then?" And I didn't know what he meant by it, and I was googling it. I'm thinking, Kennedy getting shot? No, that wasn't then. And so then I found it, and that's exactly what he's talking about. And I read it, and I was floored. I couldn't believe it.
I'm gonna have to read it. I haven't read it.
Yeah, you check it out.
You look at how Rome collapsed. Rome collapsed because it was politically divided, and they were letting foreigners in who destroyed it from the inside.
Exactly, you're right about that.
And most empires only last 250 years, and who's celebrating their 250th this year? So we really need to come together and stop this no kings, and we need to work together to make our country better.
Absolutely, of course we have to do that, right? But it just, I don't know if it's going to be able to happen, and I don't know. I don't know if
I don't see any bridge right now. I don't see anything. I don't know what could happen because they're going to want to put someone like Newsom up, and there's no way any of us can get behind Newsom because he's just going to. Someone like that would destroy this country. So I think at this point there's always going to be that divide because the parties are so culturally different now. It's just so different than it was in the Bush era.
Yeah, Joe, you mentioned earlier, too, that anything radical is bad. Radical right, radical left, radical anything is bad. And I feel both parties are starting to get radical by the day. Mm-hmm. And we've seen the left. They have gone off the bridge with the radical agenda.
Yeah, they're too blue. I don't know how blue they are. They're almost so blue it's black. Like, I don't know what, they're just so far gone.
Yeah, and it's so much easier now with social media too. You know, X and Facebook, and people that I talk to, they believe things that people put out there. They're like, oh, look at this video. I'm like, well, that's AI, by the way, that you could tell. Or it's just somebody with their opinion, and everyone has a voice now, which is fine with me. Everyone should have a voice. That's great. But people need to make their choices of who they're going to believe and who not to believe.
Know what you're saying with your voice. Everyone has a voice, but don't just blab something that isn't gonna make sense and doesn't do any good.
Yeah, I mean, I have friends and people I work with that they're like, "Oh, look at this. This is what these people do." And I'm like, well, how do you know that that's true? I mean, I don't believe a lot of things I see on mainstream media either, because I know they pick and choose what they're going to report on. But it's just like, well, how do you know it's true? I'm like, oh, well, somebody said it on X. I'm like, do you know that person? No, but it got 100,000 likes.
It got 100 retweets. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It got 10 retweets. You know it's fact. Like,
yeah, right. I know.
I was told the other day when Trump struck Iran that Trump sent ICE to Iran and killed the Ayatollah. I'm like, where are you getting your information from? They tell me TikTok.
I heard Vance went personally. I heard he just sent JD. He just sent JD with one handgun and said, "Go get him."
Listen, I would believe that people would say that, and people would believe it for some reason. But all right, guys. Well, we're getting on to the end of this Hammer segment, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back for Hammer 3.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
All right, everybody, welcome back. I don't know if we lost.
I'm back.
So this one is this South Jersey machine, and I'm sure you guys know what that is. It's the Norcross family. It's a South Jersey machine, and they control everything. Most powerful family in the state of New Jersey, and I would say, arguably, not that I'm saying it, the most corrupt family in the state of New Jersey, and it's not me saying it. It's these headlines.
I'll say it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying the headlines are there, the indictments. So let's bring up the first one here. We can roll through them as we're talking. So there you go with the NJAG corruption investigation focused on George Norcross's influence over the Camden County waterfront developments. Sources say so they were indicted not once but twice between George and Philip, the whole family. So not Donald. Donald was never indicted. So I just want to put it out there. As far as I know, he wasn't, but the family, and they were indicted under money that came in from taxpayer dollars, and who is in Congress. New Jersey is the person that brings that money in. I would assume, I know a little bit about it. I'm running for Congress, but anyway, let's do the next slide. So New Jersey Democrats mull the future of the weakened George Norcross. No, listen, he's not weakened at all. Trust me, he's not. So, but they're still coming. They're still very much in power. That's why I call it the South Jersey machine, because it keeps on rolling. That engine keeps going. So we'll just do the next two. We'll do the next one and one after. So there's another atomic bomb. Just fell on one of America's most powerful party bosses, but beat it. So they're good. Next one, let's roll that one. And how power broker George Norcross and friends got waterfront land for cheap, and that's what led to part of the racketeering indictment. That was part of it. So, but all these headlines and all these indictments, and they were going to get indicted again. And 2 weeks ago, the AG dropped the charges because they already lost twice by indicting them. And then they decided not to even go through with the third one. So, Joe, your thoughts on the Norcross machine?
I don't even know where to start with them because it really, Donald is, and I know we got to be careful what we say, everything with him being in power, like here, unfortunately. But Donald is as corrupt as George, but he's just George's puppet. But they both are entangled in the same damn mess in my eyes. Even if George's indicted, to me, Donald's as corrupt. Yet that he keeps getting reelected. He just keeps having all this money funded to him, and it's because now the people in power, Democrats, they're even scared of him. They're sick of him. I work in Atlantic County. I haven't even told you this story, Damon. So the Atlantic County Democrats, they actually, I know a couple of them. They have their conventions and everything. Donald Norcross sends Camden County reps to their conventions. He has influence, and they know for years he's had influence in even the Atlantic County elections. He goes all over South Jersey, and it's even reaching to the Republican Party. In my eyes, it's even in Ocean County Republicans. I feel that anything he touches, or if you do any business with him, there's something going on with you, and there's something corrupt. And that's my 2 cents on him. Literally everything he touches is greasy.
No, for sure it is. And he's been very active. And Frank, you and I talked about this before. I've never seen him so active on social media or having as many town halls as he has been having. He was always under the radar, and he never, I watched every congressional hearing I possibly could.
Well, I think this is his last hurrah. I think this is his last one.
I think it is too. I think it definitely is his last one. So I probably should have waited till 28 instead of 26.
Well, I did hear, again, I didn't even get to tell you, we have to catch up because I'm just saying it here. I've heard that Norcross, to replace him, they're going to put Moen. George wants to put Bill Moen. It's only been Bill Moen to run for Congress. However, Camden County Commissioner President Lou Capelli is going to go against them and run for it as well in primary. And that's going to that will happen next congressional election.
So we'll see. But and Frank, we were talking about this too. Donald Norcross actually showed up at a Republican fundraiser.
Yeah, he did for Justin Murphy.
It wasn't for him. It was for Waterford Committee. Justin Murphy was a guest there, and he showed up there. And it was it was at Alligators. It's kind of like, I'm not going to call it dive bar. It's not. It's somewhere where Norcross wouldn't usually be, but he showed up there and
crazy.
And he wanted to talk to people there. So I don't know what he's afraid of. So Frank, you think he's afraid of the? I think it's going to be his last hurrah, like Joe said. But do you think the SAVE Act is scaring him?
Absolutely, I definitely think he does. That is scaring him. And I wanted to say that Norcross has his best friend, Steve Sweeney, is our Gloucester County administrator, who is making $280,000 a year, which, keep in mind, is more than the vice president of the United States. So he has ties everywhere. George and Donald do. And also, I don't picture Donald Norcross hanging out at Alligators. That's not a place he would be.
Hey, I wish I had the clip to put up there from the last podcast when I had Sweetie. I was making more than the vice president of the United States and all that. I wish I had it, or I'd throw it up. But you can go to the previous podcast.
Even though he comes in last in their Democrat primary for governor, but we'll just slide that under the rug.
Yeah, it's amazing. He represents Sweeney represents like somewhere around. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, like 500,000 people. The vice president represents 340 million people, and he makes more than the vice president. And that's insane.
And the Democrats appointed him to this to the county administrator role, while he is the Democrat county chairman. So our taxpayer dollars are probably being used right now to primary Republicans, to run against Republicans, I should say.
I'm sure it is. It's such a messed up system. Everything, about it. And Joe, you know I'm in the Carpenters Union, so and I have to pay into a PAC money. It's in Jonah 1972. Said good show so far. That's Seth. So thank you, Seth. But I pay into a PAC. They take money out of my paycheck every week, and it goes towards the Political Action Committee, and they use that money to
Von Norcross's campaign against you.
Yep, exactly. So
it's okay. When I was like when you realtors in the NOR has their dues, and when you pay your dues, there's a little optional click box that says donate $25 to their PAC. I just make sure that's not clicked because they endorsed Bill Moen when I ran against him. I'm like, nope, no, never again. You will never get another cent from me. Nope.
So I'm still fighting with I'm not really fighting with it, but I sent the letter in. I'm waiting for it to happen. I'm like, I'm not paying into this when you're
not going to endorse me.
I'm not paying. I'd rather the money go to me, my own money, than pay my opponent to beat me. I said it makes no sense whatsoever.
They can't afford. Like, are they going to let you just not to pay it? Are they going to let you?
They have to. It just hasn't gone through. But it's like, listen, you can't do that when I'm a candidate, and I got to pay into a PAC against myself. So.
Then he'll run ads. This Damon's paying into my campaign. Like, great.
Oh, and Heather just said our old boss in Middlesex County Administrator John Palmia, I remember him, is making $307,000 a year.
Jeez.
That's insane. But he represents a little bit more people, 800,000, I believe. Not 340 million like the vice president, but 800,000. So he deserves $307,000 a year, which is crazy. But that's the times that we're in right now. That's why we need to change all this.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, guys, well, listen, we're going to take another quick break. We're going to this last segment. Will be a quick one. We're going to do the Patriot and the Loser of the Week award, and we'll go into that. So I'll take a quick break.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up. Because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. But America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. The New Jersey State House Watch, hosted by Jack Brangan and Constance Detzel. APN's The Pulse is moderated by either Alexandra, Damon, Elena, or Seth. Also tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. Join the revolution because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
Everyone, welcome back to Hammer 4. This is the Patriots and Loser Award. So I picked someone that is a Patriot of the week, and I picked someone who is the loser of the week. And I made this up a while ago. I'm going to bring this back. This is Steve the Tank Cush Loser Award. Joe, you know who Steve Cush is. I think you do too, Frank, but I made this up a while because, just personal thing. So that's how it started. So I just brought it back for this episode. Just one
That's
time.
Great.
I'll leave it alone. I offered it to him 2 weeks ago, see if he wanted it, but he said no, he's good. He didn't think about it.
You gotta get him to sign it.
Well, the only reason why I brought it back in because I know what I don't want to talk about it on the podcast, but he's behind a couple things that are going on with my campaign because he knows we'll never touch my campaign, and different people that are already elected are refusing to help me out, sign my petition, support me. So I'm not going to go into all of it, but that's
You love to see that. You love to see Republicans not helping other Republicans.
I know it makes no sense.
Great.
I know. So, but that's why I brought it back in. So, Steve, there you go. You can come pick it up anytime. I don't want to use it anymore. It's yours. I bought it for you. So, I'm going to go into the Patriot Award. So, let's roll into that. This is John Valentine. John Valentine is a councilman.
The Jersey Shore Podcast presents this week's Patriot Award. It goes to John Valentine.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
John, I gave you a chance to speak. It's my turn to speak. So now you are proposing that we ban all data centers.
But now you're here and opposing it, so I'm opposing it. Why are you doing council? Why are you not opposing it?
Now all of a sudden it's campaign time, and it makes me wonder. I saw you sitting there taking selfies a little while ago with the crowd and all that. So we know this is a political stunt by you.
Let's get Councilman Valentine to...
So that was John Valentine, councilman of Monroe Township, Williamstown. He was fighting against the data centers, and the whole thing is these data centers they want to build there. Now, listen, they're going to be the future of everything with AI. Heather said yes, John was a badass, but they're going to be the future. But the thing is, they're trying to use the well water by the farms down there, and they have to cool them off. So that's why they're fighting against it. They need a different system, like domestic water, to go in. It takes a lot of water to cool these things off. And they have farms. John has a farm as well. And you guys can look it up, all the listeners out there, look it up. It's called funneling. If you pull so much water out of the wells, and it'll shift where the water goes, and farms will lose their well water. So that's why he's fighting it. And the mayor, he went toe to toe with the mayor, and the mayor said, I see you taking selfies with the crowd earlier with people that are there. So he spun around in his chair and took a selfie, and everyone started cheering. So he's the man. I love him. He's crazy as heck, but he's awesome.
That meeting got intense. My friend John Duff actually spoke there. He's from Burlington County. He ran for commissioner. What?
You said Duff spoke there?
Yeah, John Duff that spoke there. Yeah, and he went hard with him, man, and he tore into him, and they were like, "You're not even a Monroe citizen." He was like, "I don't care. I'm a Piney from Southampton, and I'll stand up for Pineys all the way from there, all the way to Atlantic." And they start cheering, that whole meeting. That mayor's mess. He's done. He's done because people hate these things. I just saw one in Vineland. I saw someone posted a reel in Vineland where they're mourning, just blasting this noise. It sounded like a jet for hours.
Yeah, and Frank, I don't think you met John. Well, no, you met.
You may have met John Duff.
Yeah, well, no.
You're John. You're John.
Yeah. Well, I met John Duff too. He's on a podcast a couple times. But John Valentine, Frank, you met him.
I know John.
Yeah, so he's awesome. He's the type of guy you want on your side. He does everything for the people, and he's a great guy, and he'll tell you exactly what's on his mind, and he won't lie to you. And he went toe to toe with the mayor, and he just slammed him at that meeting. So. But all right, so we'll go into the loser award, and I hate to say this loser award because it's somebody that I used to like. I'm not saying I don't like him that much anymore. I mean, he has some good stuff he puts out there, but the stuff that he says now is kind of throwing me off. So I'm going to give you the loser award, and we'll play the clip of why I'm giving the loser week award.
Unconditional surrender means foreign troops get to
The Jersey Shore Podcast presents this week's Loser Award. It goes to Tucker Carlson.
Losers! 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 Shut up!
Unconditional surrender means foreign troops get to rape your wife and daughter if they want. And everyone knows that. And that has been, if there's one consistent lesson of history, it means unconditional surrender means foreign troops get to rape your wife and daughter. Everyone can feel that. That's like the most atavistic instinct there is. And so to avoid that, people will do anything. And so that's why it requires that level of force to get a population subdued to the point of unconditional surrender. That's why. And so in this case, of course, we don't have the ground force necessary. I don't think Americans would voluntarily participate in it. I just don't think we can do that. It would require weapons of mass destruction. It would require presumably nuclear weapons in order to do that. And let's not lie to ourselves.
So the reason why I always like, I'll go to you, Frank. I always liked Tucker Carlson, and I believe in everything that he stood for. But he's shifting a little bit. How do you say that that our troops would rape women over there because he's just against what's going on in Iran? Like, why would you say that about American troops? That's basically what he said.
I don't understand why he would say that. He never gives you any evidence. I have not listened to Tucker Carlson or watched him since 2019 when he got off of Fox News, since he was on all the time in my house when he was on Fox News. But I haven't really paid too much attention to him lately, but the statement saying American troops would do that that's an extreme claim to make. And I just think he went off the deep end.
Joe, he didn't specifically say American. He said unconditional surrender means that the troops can rape your women. So he didn't say American, but he was talking about what's going on in Iran. So you didn't have to say it. Trump asked for unconditional surrender from the Iranians, and then he goes on this podcast and he says that. So obviously he's talking about American troops. Like,
I just think I don't know what happened with him, honestly, man. Because again, like you two, I was a huge fan of him. Like, I really did like him, and I still am a fan of him. But I just think since he got kicked off the air, he's just been kind of not radicalized, but he's just trying to do what he can to keep the views, I think. And almost to an extent, if the media that gains popularity is talking negatively about Trump or about what Trump's actions are, then he may just be tagging along with them, just trying to get the views.
I think it's for clickbait, to make money, to be controversial. And we have off 9290 said it's what the Iranians might think. I mean, yeah, possible they might think. I don't know. I don't know if they think that, because we don't have boots on the ground and we're just bombing them, getting rid of their ICBMs and all that, and their nuclear capability. I don't see boots going on the ground. I hope it doesn't happen. I don't want it to happen. There may be some, just to clean everything up when it's all over, possibly. But I don't think it's going to be a long-term war. And I think Tucker doing this for clickbait. And
I agree with you. I think he's just doing it to keep the views up.
Yeah. So, but all right, guys. Well, listen, I want to just thank you guys for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it very much. I'm going to go into promoting this Pennies in Action after this, and I'll tell you about it, because I don't think you might have saw it before, Frank. But this is Pennies in Action. They've raised money for experimental cancer treatment. It's an immunotherapy, and basically how I found out of it from my good friend Steve DiOrio. He works with them, and it's a fundraiser to raise money to try this. It's not like a usual treatment yet. It's not approved for anything, but you're allowed to to experimentally use it. But Trump had the Right to Try Act that he passed last term. So if you're terminal, you're allowed to try something that may work for you. And Pennies in Action with Dr. Zanicki, the breakthrough treatment that he has come up with. So basically, they take your own immune system and they make, the way he explains it, like, listen, I'm not a doctor, but the way he explains it, they take your own immune system and they make a nuclear bomb out of your own immune system and they inject it back into you. So they put it like on steroids.
Oh my God.
And because you know how cancer, it eventually it'll fight and it'll beat your immune system. But if you have something that attacks the cancer faster, your own immune system, then you can actually beat it. And stage 4 metastatic breast cancer that my sister had, she went through everything. She went through double mastectomy. She went through chemo treatment, proton therapy, everything. And she was stage 3 at first and then metastasized her bone marrow. And now she's stage 4. And she was deemed terminal. And then after me finding this, through my good friend Steve Lorio, and I went and to one of the events and I recorded Dr. Zanicki giving the speech, all the slides. And I'm like, oh man, this is amazing. And I sent it to my sister. And I didn't know she was in Florida at the time looking for schools for her daughter, for my niece. And it's at Moffitt Cancer Center, and it's on campus where she was. I sent her the video, and she watched it, and then she looks up, and she's right in front of the building. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, so she went right in and called me, and then I took her to the next event, and she met Dr. Zanicki, and then we did a GoFundMe for her because there's everything is fundraising for this treatment. So she had to fly to Florida 20 weeks in a row. And, she went down there and we raised her money, and all of her friends, threw a ton of money at it so she could make it there. And we got her into the free trial, and it's working.
That's awesome.
So
that's freaking amazing.
So everybody out there, Pennies in Action, August 18th. This one's in Malvern, PA. We always have one in Violin every year too, as well. But it's a great organization, and they're doing great things. And so anybody wants to go to that event, just scan the QR code and buy some tickets, or you can donate towards it because it's awesome for people that have cancer, and not just breast cancer. They're doing wonderful things with other cancers as well. So after this, I don't know if we want to go into the candidates that are running. So there's a bunch of candidates that are running. I'm just going to run through it real quick. I'm trying to build a coalition with people, with these candidates up and down the state, because I think the Republicans, like I said before, need to stick together. So we have Justin Murphy for Senate 2026.
That's our next senator right there.
I hope so. Justin, if you're watching, listen to Frank. Get technology up. But no, Justin is a great guy. He'd be a great senator. I love him to death. He's awesome. And then we'll go to the next one. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's me.
I don't know him.
I don't know. I think would that guy be a great congressman? I think so. I don't know. Maybe not. What do you think?
Maybe not. We'll see. Future congressman right there.
Yeah. So hopefully we're going to do it. And we'll go to the next one here. Yeah, my man Van Drew. Give him a big plug. He's a great guy. Van Drew is awesome. Love him to death. And so let's go to the next one. Jason Cohen, CD3. CD3, he's an awesome guy too. We talk a lot. He's been on the podcast multiple times. So I know the picture on the bottom there, it has some hair there, but it's gone. Just like mine is going too. So sorry, Jason, I put you out there for that. But no, he's a really good guy. He's very he's determined, and he is. Oh no, my son just came over. So,
I said hi.
So, all right, let's go to the next one. So we have Chris Smith here. Now, Chris, I I'm honest, I have never talked to him, but I like him a lot. I looked at the platform, so I figured I'd put him in here. He hasn't been part of what we've been trying to do. I'm trying to still recruit him and get in touch with him, but I love his platform. I love what he's trying to do. Next one. Hillary Herzig, she is awesome. And I would say I'm glad she's not running in my district because she's a beast. When I talked to her on the phone when we had our Zoom calls, she is direct and she's forward and she's hungry. So I'm glad I'm not running against her because she's a tough one and she will be awesome. So next one. That's Tom King Jr. Comment. So hopefully he gets back in. I'll throw him in here too. We need him to get back in. He's got a tough race, but I think he's going to win again. So just everybody out there, get out there to vote for these people. So let's go to the next one. This is Tiffany Barris for Congress, and she's awesome as well. We've been talking here and there, and we had the Zoom call together trying to get every Republican elected. So everyone keep your eyes out for Tiffany Barris. We'll go to the next one. Then we have Carmen Bugo. Carmen, I have not spoken to him directly. Again, he's the other one I haven't spoken to, but I want to throw him in here because I saw his platform. I know what he's about, and he looks like a great candidate. So make sure you get out there and vote for Carmen Bugo. Next candidate. And then Joe Hathaway is the big one, going after, it's in April, right? Like Cheryl's.
The special election, CD11.
Yeah. So I have not spoken to him. I reached out to him yesterday, so I'm waiting to hear back. So I want to get him one as well because that's an important one. And then you have Greg Milley, who's hands down awesome guy. Talked to him a lot. He's in CD12. So make sure we get out and vote for all these candidates. Name them too. But Joe,
we need Damon. We need Damon CD1. Get him in there.
We definitely need my dad.
Yeah, we gotta give a shout out to our Gloucester County Commissioner candidates: Martino Cartier, Catherine Falcone, and Barb McCormick.
Yes, definitely. So thank you for that, Frank. And then Joe, if you want to just say again,
This isn't a statewide race or anything. It's just with us again. It's with the Young Republicans of New Jersey. We're in April. It's going to be our convention, our reorganization for voting on the executive board. I'm the current treasurer and I'm running for re-election. So if you're a Young Republican and you're in a chartered group, or even if you're not, feel free to reach out to me. I'll get you involved. I'll get you into your organization, and hopefully I'll see you in April. But yeah, any help with that campaign would be greatly appreciated. Anyone listening.
All right, we got to make you some kind of promo to put on the podcast.
Some logo or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We just got our slate together fully today, for like a full slate and everything. As long as one person from Burlington County agrees. He had to go to Pocono, so I'm waiting to hear back from him. But we have our full slate. Should be good.
So, all right. Frank, you got anything else before we jump off?
I wanted to give another shout out to some people who really helped me get involved here. Was our Washington Township Chairman, Steve Pacarduni. He helped me get involved. Our Gloucester County Commissioner, Nick DeSilvo. He really helped me get involved. Damon, you helped me get involved in your campaign. You took me in. So did Justin Murphy. So let's get you two elected here.
Yeah, and then Adam Wingate, our Gloucester County Chair, again, getting elected again after this primary during the reorg. So, but all right, guys, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry I got bombed with this guy just jumping in.
Never apologize for that.
I want him to run. I'd rather sit back and let him run. But he's not old.
Dad,
he'd wipe Norcross.
Yeah.
He'd wipe Norcross.
Dad, I would win if you get off the ballot and I go on. I think I'll get signatures every second.
All right, well, you got to be 26 though. That's the thing.
No, I don't. You can be 5 years old and taking signatures.
No, not signatures. I think men on the ballot. So, but all right, guys. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, Damon.
I'll talk to you after the show. All right.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Cut through the Jersey night. Another call, another fight. Partner riding by his side. Poor Paul steady, full of pride. He does not quit, he does not slow. Runs straight where the danger goes. But when the bills come crashing in, the handler pays again. Yeah, the badge is heavy, the job is tough, but these brave dogs deserve enough. Boots on the ground, paws in the fight. K9 heroes working all night. They wear the shield, they hold the line. They give their all every time. If they are officers when danger calls, they should be covered through it all. So we raise our voice and raise this jam for the dogs who always take the stand. Word got out across the land. Country Hearts started a band. Adam Wardrop brought the flame. Bubba Beer backed the name. And Colby Lee Swift with strings that cry, singing for the dogs who never ask why. Just good men trying to make it right. Standing up in the spotlight. Yeah, small town hearts and a country sound. Standing up and laying it down. On the ground, paws in the fight. K9 heroes working all night. They wear the shield, they hold the line. They give their all every time. If they are officers when danger calls, they should be covered through it all. So we raise our voice and raise this jam for the dogs who always take the stand. Stage. Crowd gets loud, the good hearts raise. These dogs do not choose the line, still they cross it every time. Till the budget makes it right, we will sing into the night. Boots on the ground, paws in the fight. America, hear us loud tonight. Fund the heroes who cannot speak. Stand by the brave who guard our streets until the day the system stands tall. We will not stop, we will not stall. Country strong and back in the blue. K9 heroes, this song is for you. For every handler standing tall, and every dog who gives his all. Yeah, this one's for New Jersey, for every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon, Galdo, and I'm just getting started. Job site dust to the streets of the shore. Steel-toed boots, yeah, I know what I'm working for. Middle class hurting, every bill going up. While suits in D.C. say, man, just trust us. I'm a builder by trade, put my sweat in the ground. Now I'm building up hope for my hometown. Jersey's my home, blue-collar soul. I don't make excuses, I get it done, that's all I know. I felt the pressure, I've lived that grind, trying to give your kids a better life. I won't forget where I came from, man, cause I'm built by work. I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not a career man who forgot Jersey keeps drowning in the same old pain. I'll build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon, Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah. Donald Norcross been there year after year. Same old story while the struggle's still here. Claims he's for workers, but look around town. Rent sky high, grocery bills breaking us down. Where's the relief for the middle class grind? Cause all I see is folks falling behind. I ain't got decades in some DC chair. I got skin in the game, cause my family's here. Time, they had their shot. And tell me, Jersey, what have we got? It's time for change, time for a stand, time for a work, and not another plan. Not another plan, not another plan. Yeah! I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not some suit who sold you fantasy. We waited long enough, it's time to demand a future built by honest hands for Jersey strong, for this great land. I'm Damon, Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah, this ain't left, this ain't right. This is fight for what's right. For every mom working double shifts, every dad praying they don't miss. I'm running for my kids, running for yours, for a state that deserves so much more. Not talk, that's the plan. Let's build it back with a working man. For our children's dreams, for a better way. I'll fight for Jersey every day. No empty words, I'll take the stand. Cause I'm built by work. Yeah, I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. While the old guard keeps playing the same old game. But we're done with waiting, done with excuses. It's time for a man who knows how to do this. I build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon, Galdo, built by working hands. New Jersey 1st District. If you're tired of the talk and ready for work, walk with me. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Make the crowd chant with no music.
The Hammer thanks you for watching tonight's Jersey Shore podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what The Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to seeing you on the next episode.